Hey, what is going on YouTube? Jay here from Maji and Jay. Today in this video, we're going to be checking out here the brand new OUKITEL C17 Pro that I got from Amazon with the Prime service. And if I remember correctly, on top of my head right now, I think it was about $145, and it is not bad considering that this is, well, yes, a budget phone, but it has a decent processor, which is the Helio P23. It comes with the Mali G71 for the GPU. It has 4 GB of RAM, 64 GB of internal storage, and the list goes on. But before we go into the specifications, I would like to comment on the box. Well, if you could tell us watching this video, I will have to suggest that they redesigned their box. I mean, it has been exactly the same one since about 2016 with other models. And here we are in 2019 and we still get the same orange box with the white logos. Please, OUKITEL, do something a little different. Change your boxes. Anyways, on the back side here, well, we have the full specifications, or at least most of them. Here we have the 6.35-inch display, not full HD, again HD, resolution 1540 by 720. It comes with Android Pie 9.0. It is a 4G LTE device, and the bands are supported here in the USA. Here we had the processor, which I already mentioned. We had the RAM and the internal memory. You can upgrade it up to 128. It is a dual standby device as well. And on the back we have 3 cameras. We have a 13 megapixel main shooter, we have a 5 megapixel ultra wide camera, and a 2 megapixel depth sensor camera. It comes with a GPS. It comes also with a 3900 milliamp battery. It has a fingerprint scanner, Face ID, so on and so forth. So yes, on paper it seems like a decent device. We just need to test it out and see if it's worth it. So here they're giving us a little promo about a free Bluetooth speaker. As you can tell on the back we have the details. I might try it, I'm not sure. By the way, this device was not sponsored. I purchased it myself with my credit card, as I already explained. Here we have the device. This is the Aurora Green, and it is basically a combination of blue and green, like metallic green, and it looks very nice. On the back it looks a little bit like Huawei devices. I don't know if you guys have the same opinion, but it does, at least in my eyes. On the front here we have again that 6.3-inch display. We have a punch hole, very similar to what we saw on Samsung. You know, very cool looking, I gotta admit. So here we have again some of the quick highlights of the device. And what I do like about the display is the fact that it has deep blacks when it's off, making it look nice and premium. And on top you have very minimalistic bezels, and on the side as well. On the bottom we have a chin. I'm not sure if you guys can see that right there, but we do have a chin. And this one has a 90% screen to body ratio. So again, it is near bezel-less. So here in the back we have the fingerprint scanner. Here we have the 3 cameras, the 13, the 2, and the 5 megapixel with the LED flash. The case comes already pre-installed, so getting it removed makes the device a little bit thinner. Okay, so here we had that metallic Aurora Green. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Unfortunately, this phone doesn't have NFC, it doesn't have wireless charging, it doesn't have fast charging, and it is not water resistant, and it doesn't have optical image stabilization. It only records in 1080p, so I guess that's where they save their money. On top here, it seems like they were gonna add like some sort of IR sensor, but unfortunately it is not activated. I mean, I tried some applications and it doesn't work, and also by default it doesn't come with any. So I don't know if that's just there for the looks. On the right side we have the volume rockers up and down with a power key. Towards the bottom we have the loudspeaker, USB Type-C port, and the main microphone. On the left hand side here we have the tray for the dual SIM or 1 SIM and the TF card memory upgrade, and that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and get it started here real quick. That way we can check the contents inside of the box. Here we have the standard OUKITEL logo, powered by Android. So let's go ahead and check real quick what comes inside. We have the booklets, the manuals, the warranty card, the USB Type-C cable, the SIM ejector tool, and finally here we have the wall charger. We do get the American one, so that's great. This is a non-fast charging brick, as you can tell here from the specifications, and that's all we get here inside of the box. So let's set it aside and talk about the phone. So now the phone has finished up here with the booting process, and I gotta say that the camera looks quite amazing, especially with this customized wallpaper by the company. They cut it where the camera goes and it looks very nice and attractive. It comes by default with this wallpaper. So here we have a few things going on. We can see that I am connected with AT&T on the upper right hand side corner. We got the Wi-Fi reception, voice over LTE, again 4G LTE, and there we can see the reception. It's actually pretty good. We had the battery, which is excellent. Even though this is a 3900 milliamp battery, I was able to get almost a day and a half. I've been using this phone now for about 3 days as my primary device, and I was quite impressed there with the battery. It has face recognition. I already registered my face. I just had to change the angle so that the camera's not on the way, but you guys can see that it's working perfectly well. And also it has a very nice responsive fingerprint. You can see that there right now. I mean, out of every 10 tries, I get at least 9 correctly. And there you can see it failed once, but that's because sometimes I tend to aim towards the corner instead of the middle side, and it has a hard time reading my fingerprint. But take my word for it, guys, it works absolutely great, at least on the fingerprint and the face recognition side. Now here, when it comes to the operating system, this is Android 9.0. For the most part, it's clean. It doesn't have bloatware. It doesn't have anything that will harm your safety using the device itself. It's very nice and fluent. I have a few games already downloaded on here, including Allsport 9. It did load it, and it works absolutely great. As you guys can tell, there's no glitches. So, I mean, Helio P23 is not a super powerful processor, but it works okay for basic things that you can do, especially at this price point, only $150. Well, you can't expect flagship quality, but let me tell you, for the price, it is quite impressive. So here we have the Antutu benchmarks, and I got about 85,000 on this device. So it is way below of what we're used to. We have flagship devices scoring over 300,000, like the Samsungs and other flagship devices with the Snapdragon 855. This one only did about 85,000. So again, nothing to really brag about. Here on my device, well, we get the same specs that I already gave you. There we have the Mali G71, the screen resolution 720p, and the list goes on. And by the way, this is a 5-point multi-touch screen. It's not a 10 like we have seen on other devices. You can see it right there. Let me try that one more time. And we do have the 3-finger swipe to take a screenshot. Let me just delete that. I'll actually delete it later. Let me do it now real quick. That's fine. So there we saw the Antutu benchmark. Again, nothing very impressive. I have here all my personal applications. I used the device again for 3 days, and I gotta say, guys, I will keep repeating it throughout the entire video. I am not disappointed about this particular one. I mean, not too long ago, I had a device, I'm not gonna mention the brand, which was also a budget device, a little bit more money than this one, but the performance was absolutely horrible. This one is doing quite well. Now, checking here all the toggles, as I mentioned before, it doesn't come with NFC, it doesn't have wireless charging, it doesn't have fast charging, and again, it is a pretty basic device in terms of features, but it does have a few things that I like. For example, on the dialer itself, if you guys, let's say, I'm gonna call in this example my voicemail, let's say you hold and press it, you can see right here that it has the option to record the conversation straight from the phone's app without having to download any third application. That's kind of cool, and this actually has been enabled on other Chinese devices in the past, but again, having it is a really cool feature in my opinion. You never know when you're gonna need that recording for something important. You just never know. And if you had to record it, well, you have it right there. So here we have the Wi-Fi settings. We get the Bluetooth, all that standard stuff. We do have here to where you can customize the navigation bar. You can change it to where the back keys all the way to the left and vice versa. You can also hide it in case you want to take advantage of the full display. There we go. I just hide it, and to bring it back, just swipe up. And again, this is all very standard, nothing to brag about right there. We got here system, we have advanced, let's see, about C17 Pro, and there we can see again the operating system, Android Pie 9.0. So everything has been as advertised so far. Now the next thing I want to mention here is the camera. So in the back we have 3 cameras, and apparently we can only just record. It doesn't have the ultra wide angle option, at least right here from picture mode or even video mode. I can just take standard videos at 1080p quality, And you guys can see that, well, in comparison to other budget devices, it doesn't do bad. The colors are quite good. The focus is great, and it does have electronic image stabilization. As a matter of fact, I just turned it off, but here we can see it. It has you know, that feature also embedded inside, so when you are recording out there, it shows it works. And again, I have seen other budget devices, I'm not going to mention names right now, that simply didn't work and the quality of the camera was absolutely horrible. So here we have the selfie camera. Again, standard selfie camera, nothing too crazy. It does record, I believe, in 720p only. And again, this is a 5 megapixel shooter. It doesn't have wide angle, but it does have face recognition, which is always great. So there we have it for the camera, guys. And another great thing about this device is the fact that, well, the browsing is really good, as we are getting 4G LTE, and also the call quality works even better because we have what they call HD voice. Here it is stating it as voice over LTE, and that gives you like premium sound coming out of the ear speaker. Unfortunately, this device doesn't have stereo speakers. The loudspeaker doesn't sound that great, to be honest with you. Even if you're on a phone call, as I said before, the ear speaker's okay, but then the loudspeaker kind of just makes the sound flat. It doesn't sound 3D. It sounds like one of those old TVs from, I would say, the 70s. You know, it just doesn't sound that great. Let me show you here an example. I'm gonna play one of my own videos so that way you guys can you know, get an idea of what I'm talking about. So let's go here into library, let's go into my videos, and we're gonna play here the let's say iPhone 11 Pro Max versus clone. Let's just play that right now. Plus, and I'm gonna keep it for a little longer, but so far the iPhone 11 Pro Max is keeping me very happy, and that's something that I was looking forward to. So anyways, aside from, well, the Apple logo is not aligning, this one has a more I would say reflective Apple logo. Well, this one also has a matte finish, which is the real one. This one has a glossy finish and very reflective. On the bottom we have the iPhone logo, something that... So as you guys can hear, again, the quality is not that it's terrible and that you can't hear. As a matter of fact, it's actually quite loud. It's just that it sounds flat. It doesn't sound 3D. It doesn't sound with a lot of bass. It sounds like a cheap speaker, and maybe that's what it is. I mean, we are only paying, again, $150. So here for the quality, we can only go at 720p 60 frames per second. Again, an indication that this is a true 720p display and not a full HD like they're claiming on the Amazon site. Another thing I want to show you guys is the browsing speed. Right now I just turned off the Wi-Fi, as you can tell, and this is the website for OUKITEL. It is there by default, and actually they are advertising this particular phone right here, as I explained before. You guys can feel free to go to their website and get more details about this particular phone. By the way, it comes only in 2 colors right now available on Amazon, and that's going to be the Aurora Green and also black. But according to the website, I think I saw a red one here. Yes, they have a red one. It is called Sunrise. It's either red or orange, I'm not sure. But yes, these are basically the 3 colors that they have available. But right now on Amazon, we had the one in the middle, which is the one I have, and the one on the right, which is the black color version. So anyways, checking here the browser, let's go on YouTube and let's see how well it is loading with LTE. This is with AT&T as well. So as you guys can see, it did it quite fast. Let's go to ebay.com, and once again, you guys can see that it does work quite well. Let's go to Amazon.com, and once again, you guys can see that the speed on LTE is not disappointing whatsoever. So now that we have basically done the unboxing and the semi-review here of the OUKITEL C17 Pro, I gotta say that it is a very impressive phone for the price, at least on the camera side and the performance. I mean, this is not gonna record in 4K, but the camera is actually a little bit better than other budget phones around this price that I reviewed not too long ago. So on that part, I am very happy. Now, something I am extremely disappointed about is the fact that it doesn't have NFC, it doesn't have wireless charging, and it doesn't have any type of optical image stabilization. At this point in 2019, I think that companies should start implementing those features, as they are crucial here, at least for the US users like myself. I do a lot of payments with the phone, so having NFC is really important. And also I work on very bad weather conditions. I work basically outside all day long, so for me having a water resistant phone is really important as well. So these are things that they can start implementing and maybe adding a little bit more to the price, not too much, and I guess it will make their customers a lot happier. With this being said, let me know what you guys think about the OUKITEL C17 Pro down below. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, comment, and share. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys on my next one.